Welcome to the 198th episode of the So Video Games podcast, where we talk about any game at all, including new stuff, old stuff, and anything in between. If we are playing it, we'll be talking about it. Today we are recording on September 24th, 2020. My name is Brad Galloway. I am the editor of GameCritics.com, and I am 5th% of this year's show. With me is the guy who's almost never at IKEA, Carlos Rodella.
Hey, what's up? I am also, yes, that is true. I am not at IKEA hardly ever.
Good. I'm glad I nailed that one because I've been kind of off the mark with the last few.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like if I've been recently, and I can't remember when I've been. Maybe like 3 years ago?
Okay, that is very accurate statement then, because 3 years ago means you were almost never at IKEA.
Almost never.
I'm glad I didn't wait around because you wouldn't have been there.
But when you go, like whenever I go, I'm like, oh, I just spent like $635 because it's like all these little things are $2 each, and you're like, well, fine, I'll just get like 10 of those, and then you're like, that thing's only $20. That's a steal. And then all of a sudden it's like $500.
Yeah, I've had that experience. You think you're buying this cheap stuff, and per unit, like you said, it's all really cheap. But then you get to the register, and you're like, "How the fuck did this come out to $875?" You stand in horror at the other end of the register, looking at your receipt, and you're going, "Yep. I guess I just can't fucking add. I guess that's what happened there." So,
and you're like bringing it over with like a huge truck or like one of those like hand cart things.
Oh, the thing always like rolls sideways and shit, doesn't even go in a straight line. It's fucking irritating. Thing. Yeah. Anyway, enough IKEA promotion. We are not sponsored by IKEA, although IKEA, if you would like to sponsor us, I am very open to that. I'm sure you've got a couple bucks you could kick our way. In lieu of that, though, we're going to get right into it, folks. We're trying to shoot for a shorter show today. I know that we sometimes go over long. We're going to try to not do that. So we're going to keep it nice, tight, and tidy. We're just going to get into it. No fat, no filler. Carlos, you've got a few things for housekeeping. Why don't you kick us off, sir?
Yeah, just first off, PS5 had their kind of digital event to talk about the PS5 and some games coming out for it. We're not going to go through that whole thing. But I just wanted to say that everybody was scrambling for pre-orders because it was really weird how Walmart decided to just say after the event, they just said, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. You can buy one from our store. We'll just put them up. And threw a real wrench in the plans. But then again, Sony didn't get upset. They were just like, okay, I guess, because you're going to get a gazillion orders. And then after that, a bunch of other places said, well, we're going to do our pre-orders now too. And so basically it was a scramble. And I remember just going to Twitter going like, caught up in the whole hype about, wow, if there's a link out there, I'll probably click it. And I had a friend send me like an affiliate link or some sort of link directly to a PS5 on Amazon, and it was the disc drive one. And I wasn't going to get the disc drive one, but I was like, I got to get me a PS5 like everybody else is getting one.
Oh, dude, you got sucked into the hype, dude.
I was into the hype. I spent an extra $100 for probably no reason because I don't think I'm going to get any or what is it called? 4K CDs. What are they? The Blu-ray.
I don't even
high
know,
def. I don't know.
I couldn't even tell you.
But I got one anyhow with a disc drive, and then I also got the headphones. So I pre-ordered my PS5. How about you?
Not even remotely. I was not planning to drop any money. From what I understand, you had to pay up front for the PS5. Is that correct?
No, I don't think it came out of my account for the Amazon one. I think it comes out when it ships.
Probably different by retailer then, because half the people in my feed were saying they were paying up front, and I was definitely not going to do that. And to be perfectly honest, yeah, I'm going to get a PS5. Yes, I'm going to get the new Xbox. But at that time that the PS5 event was going on, something else was going on in the world, like politically, and I was just really feeling it that day. And I just was like, there's a lot more important things in the world than PS5 pre-orders right now, especially since it was like a surprise, like this clusterfuck, like you said. A lot of people were like screaming because Sony promised they were going to give us a lot of forewarning and heads up, and they did not. And, FOMO was real strong that day, and I feel like a lot of people who maybe didn't have the money decided to spend it anyway because they felt they were, had to keep up, and they were, scared they weren't going to get one and all this stuff. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Because, they're going to keep making them. It's not like they're going to stop after November or December, if I don't get one for another month or two, who fucking cares? Because my backlog is infinite, dude. I don't need to buy another game for the rest of my life or my son's life or his son's life, right? I don't need to buy a game for 3 fucking generations. I'm still flush with games. So if I have to wait another month or two for them to make a few more, who cares, man?
Yeah, but by the way, I didn't have to pay up front because I just checked my bank account, and it didn't come out. So I think
that's good. That's good.
Yeah, that was the other reason I did it, because I was like, yeah, but in November I'll have an extra paycheck or something, and it'll be fine. So that's why I did it. Also because for the show, and also because of what you just said, the world is like slipping into this weird dystopia, and I was like, well, that means I want this more. Because
live it up, right?
Yeah, I'm like, I need to get more Lost in Other Worlds. Another reason why I'm probably my birthday's in a couple days, so I'm going to buy a.
It is.
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
Saturday, so 26th.
Oh, I did not know that. You didn't say anything about it till just now. Happy early birthday, dude.
Thanks.
Are you going to be able to drink finally?
Oh yeah, now I can officially. Yeah.
Turning 21. Here it is, Carlos Rodon, the big 2-1.
Whew, it's been a while. All those like non-alcoholic beers have been not good.
They add up.
So no, I'm gonna get myself a birthday present of a TV, I think, and because I've been putting off this whole 4K thing, but they're relatively cheap now. If you get a small enough one, you can get one and get the experience for the HDR and all that kind of stuff for the PS5. So I'm spending some money, but I want to lose myself in another world, because this world is kind of fucked.
I hear you, man. And, like I said, I will get one for sure eventually. I mean, it's a done deal. It's just a matter of when. But I think I'm probably going to get the Xbox first, because $25 or $35 a month is much more doable than for me to drop, $500. Plus, I'm already a member of Game Pass, so I don't need to buy those games. And, I mean, it's not going to be, one or the other. It's going to be both. But I think that maybe the Xbox will be first, especially since... we are a gamer family. Like, we all have our own consoles here, and like buying for one person is one thing, but like buying for your family, like if everybody wants their own box, which we have to, right? Like my wife, hardcore gamer. Me, hardcore gamer plus editor of a game site. My son, hardcore gamer. There's no way we can like share a console. We'd be killing each other. Everybody be screaming for their turn, right? So like I got to save up for like a long period of time. I got to work some extra hours. I got to find some gigs. I got to scrimp and, cut back on a few things. So the Xbox plan in our situation right now, if I have to pay $35 a month, that's way more doable than me ponying up for 3 PS5s. So Microsoft may have us this generation. We'll see.
That's a good point. And also those pre-orders are supposedly out now as well, although I don't think I can find any. Have you found them yet?
I'm not even looking. I'm just not even on my radar. I will get one when the mood strikes me, and if I have to wait a little while, don't care.
Okay. Well, yeah, I will also do that thing. And it's funny. I kind of I will be spending the money on the PS5, so maybe I'll do exactly what you're doing and do the payment plan for the Xbox Series X.
Could do that.
Save me a little bit of cash on the front side. Also, I just wanted to mention the Tokyo Game Show's happening. We have no time to cover all the stuff that's going on, but it's a pretty cool show, so go to YouTube and look for Tokyo Game Show. They just talked about a new Nier game, a Nier Automata game.
The remake of the original one.
That's what it is?
Yeah, it is a remake of the first Nier, but we are getting a remake of the Japanese version that we did not get here. In America, Nier was he was a dad. In Japan, he was a teenager.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, because the trailer really didn't show much, so...
There you go. If you've never played Nier, the original Nier, and in my mind, the better Nier, this is your chance, although I have no idea what they're changing or what they're doing. And I got to be perfectly frank, in my mind, Nier is a dad. Like, that was kind of what sold the game to me. I have a very hard time imagining it having the same weight and impact if he's just like a teenage guy. So we'll see.
We'll have to see. But the thing that came out of it that actually is very kind of small news, but I just thought I'd mention it because we'd mentioned it on the show. I saw a new trailer for Bright Memory, but Bright Memory Infinite, which I guess is a different version. But Bright Memory, if you remember, we mentioned on the show, is that game that's like Shadow Blade. Is it called Shadow Blade? Shadow Warrior. Yeah, and it's made from that one guy. Remember the one person?
Yeah, this was at the Xbox big reveal, like first person, hack and slash plus guns plus parkour, etc., etc.
Yeah, and it already came out for Steam. I'd forgotten, which is crazy.
Oh, it's already out for Steam? I had no idea.
Yeah, well, I guess a version of it for like $8, and I was like, what the fuck? But then they were talking about on Tokyo Game Show Bright Memory Infinite. So maybe I'm guessing the full game is coming out.
It must have just been a playable slice demo or something.
Yeah.
It could not have possibly been the whole thing.
Yeah. So either way, I'm like, it just went back on my radar, and holy crap. So that's a little bit of housekeeping. One last piece of housekeeping is, and I thought that you would like this, No Man's Sky has a new update coming.
Oh, I just saw that. I just watched the trailer of that guy, Sean Murray, talking
about it. It's called Origins.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this at length, right? I know that you used to really love No Man's Sky. You kind of fell out of it a little bit. I did not like it for the first 3 or 4 times I tried it, and then the last update finally got me, played all the way through, ended up really liking it. But I don't know if I'm going to come back, because most of the stuff they showed in the trailer, I have already experienced in the current game. And the new stuff, I'm like, I mean, if I could jump in and do it real quick, maybe, but I don't think anything happens quick in No Man's Sky, and I don't know that I want to spend another 20-30 hours in it. So I'll have to get some more details. I think it's kind of hazy right now.
Well, yeah, in general, I think I can tell you might not want it, because while it's cool for a lot of players and people who have built communities in there, it's really more about the planets themselves. So getting kind of a facelift of biomes and the way that mountains can be much taller now and oceans can be much deeper. So it's kind of just that. I say just, it's still a lot of work.
Probably monumental amount of effort. Who knows,
yes. But at the same time, I don't know if it's like I need to get back in there kind of thing. But
I don't know, man. I had my experience. I had a good experience. And if it was like quickie DLC, I might be up for that. But if it's just another whole variation on what I've already done, I definitely don't want to do that whole thing again. So,
right.
Well, yeah. Okay,
and I actually have one more piece of housekeeping. This is essentially the housekeeping episode. We could put that down for the name.
All housekeeping, all the time.
All the time. A game I've been very excited about for a while, and I've watched on YouTube for quite a bit, and it actually comes out the day after my birthday, so it's my kind of second present, is Genshin Impact. Do you know about this?
I've heard a lot of people mention it to me, and I still don't know what it is. Like, it's kind of a random generic name. I know nothing about it other than people keep telling me to look at it.
And it should be, I think it's Genshin Impact. But it's a free-to-play RPG that's got elements of, like, Zelda, because you can climb everything. And I say, like, Zelda for Switch. And it also has kind of that, free-to-play grind RPG stuff. But it looks beautiful. It looks like Zelda, and it looks really, really fun. And the systems are really cool. The character design's awesome, and it comes out on the 27th. I actually pre-ordered the PS4 version, where you like buy, you pay like $10 to get like extra shit when it starts. That, by the way, that they always get me with that. I'm like, this is a free game, but I do want extra stuff.
Sure, the Founders Pack or the Starter Pack or the Progenitor Pack or something like that.
Yeah. So I got that. Again, it was only $10, and I've been watching enough on this game through tons of YouTube videos and previews, because it's been like off and on through like different kind of alpha, beta states and stuff. And it just looks really fun to play. Like the combat, minute-to-minute combat looks really fun, and the fact that you can kind of climb anything I always like. So yeah, I'm kind of a sucker for it. We'll see how I like it. I only spent $10, so that's not like a huge, barrier to entry. And it comes out on the 27th for PS4.
I will check it out, but man, that title is horrible. Genshin Impact doesn't say anything about it. It sounds like a free-to-play iPhone game or something, or like some kind of weird anime adaptation. I mean, it tells you nothing about it. They should have really done better with that title.
It's true. But it looks cool. Okay.
All right, I will check it out. Any more housekeeping? Are we good?
That's it. That's the whole show. It's 30 minutes, right?
Not quite, but we are close. We have a few minutes to work in a few games. I think we're going to get to that right now. Since you were on a roll, Carlos, I'm just going to continue with you here, bringing us to the main portion of the show where we actually talk about things we're playing. Going Under is a brand new game. I know very little about it. The little trailer I watched earlier this afternoon looked like some kind of a top-down, possibly roguelike, possibly throw stuff around physics game. I mean, it looked kind of fun and colorful, but I didn't have time to really investigate. So you, sir, please tell us about Going Under.
Yeah, wow, what a really cool, interesting game. Came out of nowhere for me. It showed up on the PS4, and as I often do, I just say, yes, I'll purchase that.
Oh, can we pause for 1 second? I got to say one thing.
Yeah.
I was literally thinking about this today, because I was thinking about you saying that you go to the PS4 and check what's new all the time. And I do the same thing, except for I only do it with the Switch. And I was trying to remember why that was, because I used to do it on the PS4 all the time. Now, I love the Switch, but I think, I got to be honest with you, I think the thing that really swung me from the PS4 to the Switch is the wish list, because when I go to the Switch, I can wish list anything and keep track of it, and I don't need to buy it at that moment, and then I can come back later, and if it's on sale, I can check it. It's all very useful and friendly. The PS4 still does not have a wish list function on the console. You have to go to the PC and do that, which is like totally a whole extra step that I don't want to do. So I think that was really what discouraged me from doing it, and I really hope that the PS5 gets their shit together and gives you a wishlist function. Even the Xbox has a wishlist. PS4 is the only one that doesn't have a wishlist right now.
Wow, I'll be really excited to have that feature again, because you're right. And when I get my new Xbox Series X, I'm sure they'll have it, because it's like a no-brainer. And you're right.
You need it. It's so useful.
I actually get more games on the Switch for the wishlist, because I actually use that wishlist a lot. You're right. But me, because I have problems, I see something and then I just buy it. So I don't even have to put it on hold. I just kind of go, well, I probably want this. No, I'm not saying I buy every single game that's in the store, but if I'm thinking about it. So this game, I love the graphics from the start. I just looked at the kind of like the trailer, and it looked really, really appealing visually. It's got that kind of Katamari Damacy look. Right, very colorful, very
brightly colored, kind of simplistic graphics a little bit.
Yeah, simple graphics. Nobi Boy, all those types of games. Very simple graphics, but beautiful and colorful. And it is a game about. Here, by the way, this is a headline: Going Under gamifies toxic startup culture and millennial work attitudes.
Really?
Yeah, that was the one of the taglines in some article I was reading. But essentially, by the way, it's come from Aggro Crab Games, which I thought was funny.
I love that name. That's
because
a good
we
name.
talked about crab games last episode.
I love crab games. I am in for crab games, so you already have me halfway.
I know, and I'm a hard pass for crab games. So I was like, I don't know what to do here. So basically you start as an intern at a company. And in the very beginning of the game, there's like a kind of welcome video, which I always like those. And it's talking about like this future where there's this little startup company, like a Steve Jobs, Wozniak, and they became this big company, and now they're going to let you be an intern. And you were like selected by AI for some reason
of course,
to be a marketing intern. Yeah. So you get to the company, and the company's Fizzle Corp, they're disrupting the beverage space. And, of course, it's in the Pacific Northwest.
Where else?
Not disclosed location, but in there. And you start your job, and you're trying to be like this good intern, and your like supervisor says, hey, before we get started, and you just like watch that, welcome video, but could you help me out a little bit? And there's a monster over there. Could you go kill it? And you're Jacqueline, and you're like, what? I thought this was like a marketing job, intern. And he's like, yeah, it is. But every once in a while we have some monsters. They come up from the basement. Just go kill that one for me, could you? So then you go kill the monster, and the combat is so fun. It's so like, that thing when you hit something and it goes slow motion for a bit?
Yes.
I just love that feel, right? So it does that. And it's like you said, it's very physics-based. So you can kind of pick up anything you see, which there's a lot of games like that. And I've loved those types of games. So you just pick up a monitor or like a weird, ball or something you see near you and just go kill the monster. And he goes, that's cool, but before we get started for the other part of the job, could you go in the basement and kill more monsters? And that's really what the whole game is that you actually need to go in the basement to kind of a secondary part of the company, which is called Joblin, which is really funny, kind of like Goblin. And there's monsters down there, and you need to go wipe out monsters, and it turns into a roguelike, where you'll have to get down as far as you can into the different dungeons.
So it is a roguelike then?
So it turns into a roguelike pretty quickly, yes. But it's got its own little differences, and normally if I find out something's a roguelike, you know me.
Yeah, you stay away.
I run for the hills. So the colorful and funny and physics-based world that there is, as well as the story of a funny, company or corporation who doesn't understand that they're probably terrible, and all the different little characters you meet, it keeps me in. It keeps me wanting to be in this world. And also the moment-to-moment gameplay is so fun, because when you go in these dungeons, not only is it physics-based, not only can you find power-ups and get like special upgrades while you're down there. But you meet funny characters. There's little stores that pop up. There's a lot of really interesting gameplay mechanics. Like there's monsters in cars, and then when you knock the monster out of the car, you can get in the car. And then you're just driving the car around the room and smashing up things.
I got 2 questions for you, man.
Yeah.
And I'm the roguelike guy. I play literally every roguelike.
You play them all.
So 2 questions for you. Number 1, is there any like permanent progression, any persistence of things that even if you lose a run, like do you keep something? Does something change in the world? Do you slowly get stronger somehow? And number 2, what are the power-ups like? Because power-ups are super, super important in a roguelike. Those are the things that make the runs feel different. When you go back and try again. So like, are you getting different new powers? Are they combining in different ways? Like what are those 2 elements like?
So I haven't played it long enough to give you real good answers. So I apologize in advance, but I can see like the writing on the wall, because when you finish a run, you get like a scorecard, and it's, again, everything's within this world of a company, and this like, company that doesn't understand they're probably evil, and all the kind of boring stuff that goes with companies. And so it's like, the little report card's like, has room for improvement, room for growth. And then it says things you did well, and they're all like said in corporate terms.
Sure.
I don't know what that carries over to, other than that you get money for a ton of stuff you do. So you get money and you do get upgrades within the level. I don't have a full answer of what is transferred over, because you're right. Like that really does make you want to like go back down under and like, or go under, yes, and actually like play more. But the thing, I will say this, the reason why I like it so much, and I went back down into the dungeon at least like 5 times, 6 times, with the limited amount of time I played it, it's because it's just super fun. Like everything you do down there isn't like another like D&D type roguelike that I would be like, oh, I just died again. It's like, because it's like, I'm sure some sort of procedural generation, right? Like it's never the same twice, and you get weird power-ups. Like I said, like you can do little mini games within the level. So it says like, accept a new job while you're down here. Again, everything's under the guise of a corporation.
Sure.
And the job is like, kill a bunch of enemies really quickly. So I did, and then a drone flies in and drops a little care package down, and I get like health and all these upgrades. So yeah, just the physics-basedness of it, the fun combat of it, it doesn't even kind of matter to me that I'm not gonna, like, whatever that upgrade system is, I'm fine with, because it's just really fun to play. What was the other question you had?
No, that was just like, how do the power-ups work? Like if you go on a run, like do you collect new power-ups? Do they combine in interesting ways? Like do you find that you're playing differently each time you do a run, or does it feel like you're doing the same thing over and over?
Yeah, for now I feel like it's the same thing over and over, but it also feels really fun. And I will say this, the other thing that's keeping me going is really this whole narrative. Like this narrative, this weird company, and AI is around, and every time you come up from the dungeon, it seems like there's more characters with more things to say, like an RPG.
Sure.
Where you come and actually like, oh, I want to see this quest line of what these people are doing. And there's different floors in the company, and like sections that are like, walled off for now. So I'm just really interested in the world, and I'll get back to you on what the upgrade system is. But for me, who doesn't ever like roguelikes, I'm really in.
Excellent. Okay, so this is Going Under. You kind of sold me on this one. I got to say, I did see a trailer today. I heard a couple of people talking about it, but nobody was really communicating to me like what it really was. It looked just like kind of a party game, kind of beat 'em up, and I'm just not in for those. But if there's actually roguelike elements, if there's story, that might get me in. I'm going to go look this up and give it a closer once-over once we get done with the show. So thank you for bringing this up.
Yeah.
We are going to be talking about roguelikes one more time before this show is over, so hang tight, roguelike fans.
Wait, why don't you talk about it now? We could do roguelike versus roguelike. Am I throwing off your plans?
No, I mean, okay, that's fine. I'm flexible. I can roll with it.
Yeah, because we got one roguelike,
and all right, that's fine.
And it's kind of a different type of roguelike, I would say.
That is, yes, absolutely true. So I was going to save this for the end, but we'll talk about it now. Started playing Hades, coming from Supergiant Games. I'm sure you must have heard of it.
I did. Danny has a new no-clip video up for it. You guys should check that out.
Yeah, it's blowing up right now. Like, literally everybody in the gamosphere is playing about it and talking about it, and I felt like I needed to check it out, and especially because it's a roguelike. I mean, those are my jam, and I play them all anyway. And this one is just like getting so much love all across the board. Comes from Supergiant, who did Bastion. They did Transistor. They did one other game that I'm not remembering at the time. Whatever. This is their fourth game, and they just keep getting better and better. Their artwork is really tight, really colorful, really polished. They have a very definite house style. Stylized, but not super stylized. It's more cartoony, but not like funny cartoony. Kind of like, I don't know, like I want to say angsty cartoony, but I don't mean that to sound insulting at all. I want it to be positive. So I guess pensive cartoony. Anyway, I love their house style. It looks really good. The premise of this game, it's a top-down, kind of a 3/4 isometric roguelike. You play the son of Hades, and this is all set within Greek mythology. So if you know about Zeus and Hera and Ares and all of the Greek gods, you will be right at home with this one. Cerberus, the three-headed dog, is there, and Medusa, and all those characters from, like, you know,
all your favorites,
and all your favorites, all the hits are here. So basically, you play the son of Hades, and he does not want to be in the underworld anymore. He's like, I'm sick of this. I want to get out of here. I want to find my mom. My mom is not down here. This sucks. You suck. I'm an angsty guy, and you're my crabby dad, and I'm out. So
Crabby.
That's kind of there's crabs again. So that's the basic premise. And what you do is you pick a weapon. You start off with just a sword, but you very soon unlock, I think, a total of 8 weapons. There's like a spear, bow and arrow, a shield that has little spikes on it, punching gloves, and the very last thing you get is like a gun, which is funny. I thought that was quite humorous that Greek gods have a gun stashed away in their armory. So you pick a gun and you go out, and every so often, the world is divided into rooms. You beat up all the goons in a room. At the end of the room, you get a reward, and the reward is procedural generation. So sometimes it's money, sometimes it's like life up. But most of the time, you're getting gifts from the other Greek gods. So, like, let's say you finish a room and Zeus is like, hey, you did good in that room. I'm going to give you something. And you get to pick. He'll give you an option of 3 things. It'll be like all lightning based, because Zeus is like the god of lightning, right? So he'll be like, your main weapon can be lightning bursts, or your sub weapon can have some kind of shocking quality to it, or you can dash and leave electricity behind you when you dash. It's whatever you want. Like, pick one of those 3. And so you pick one of those things, and as you keep going through each room, you meet more and more gods, and each one gives you like another and another and another and another thing. So like Aphrodite will give you stuff that's like a love component, but it'll also like have a toxic side to it. Ares gives you stuff that like ups your attack. Poseidon lets you push guys out of the way with the power of like water. So like they really incorporate all the Greek gods. And the beauty of this game is in the mixing and the matching, because as you go through rooms, you just keep getting more and more and more stuff, and your weapons have like more and more exotic powers. So like, you know, at one point my gun was like shooting bullets that were homing, and they also had like 10 times the attack power, and they also exploded into lightning. Also, they did a delayed explosion. And so it changes up all the time, and like no 2 runs are different. Like you'll see some of the same gods pop up, of course, but like there's 8 different weapons, and so each weapon has different effects and then combining in different ways. So each run feels pretty different. You can tailor it a little bit. Like if you keep choosing the same things, then you can have a little bit more consistency. But if you like to experiment, there's a lot of stuff going on. This game is also super big on permanence, which I think is really good for roguelikes. You unlock currency as you go through each run, and when you come back to home base, you can buff yourself in a permanent way. You can get special items from people that you meet at your home base. Tons of story. It's all voice acted and really quality voice acting. Lots of stuff to unlock, lots of progression that you can go after. They give you little goals to shoot for. And the premise is also included in the actual story itself, because as we all know, roguelikes, you're not going to win it the first time. You go in, you get as far as you can, you die, you come back. Well, they take care of that because you are the son of a god. You are immortal also. So when you die, it's just your dad being like, get the fuck back to your room. And you go back to your room and you're like, God damn it, I got to try again. And so they work that in, and like everybody in the world comments on it as well. Like they all know what's up. They're like, half of them are like, just go with the flow and stop pissing your dad off and just be a good little guy. And the other half are like, fuck that guy. I'm going to help you get out. And so like there's kind of like these little factions at home base. So they incorporate story. They incorporate great weapons. They incorporate a lot of progression. I mean, it's beautiful to look at. It's kind of the total package. Now, there is a but, though. It's the total package. I don't really have any criticism of it. But I will say, I'm going to be really just fucking honest with you, Carlos. Fucking honest with everybody who's listening right now. For some reason, this game is just like not grabbing me, and I don't know why. Like, I don't have a complaint. I don't have any criticisms of it. I'm playing it, and like every system is polished, every system is smart, every system works together. I mean, it's basically like a flawless experience, right? But something about it is just not clicking with me. And I've been through maybe 4 or 6 hours of it, and I keep waiting for, aha, now I'm in. Now I got the hook, you know? And it's just not doing it for me. So it's weird, man. It's weird because I don't have any criticisms. I really don't. I think it's a wonderful product. A lot of people out there are eating this up. But I don't know. I'm just not feeling it for some reason.
And that's fine. You know, like, again, it comes back to like art forms, movies, music, anything else. There could be a great produced record. There could be a great series on Hulu or HBO. Game of Thrones comes to mind. I think it's a piece of garbage. And so, you know, like people like what they like, and something will get you or it won't. I think that for me, that was Bastion. And Bastion is like a really kind of almost perfect game, and they do so many really innovative things, and like the voice and stuff. But I don't really care for the game. Like, I don't know if we
Me too, dude. I'm in the same basket as you, because that's another great game. Like, when you look at it on a piece of paper, you're like, this is a great game. It checks all the boxes. This is really well done. And I don't honestly have a lot of criticism of Bastion either. And yet, that was also another game where I'm like, meh. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I just don't care about it.
Yeah, and it's similar to like a producer of a movie or a producer of a show, you know, or director or whatever. So it's just not your thing, and that's fine. But like, I think your review is good, and especially people who like the other games that they put out will probably like this a lot. But let me say one thing real quick. When you mentioned the lore, I think that's really important. I would probably get into more roguelikes if the world and the reason why you have to go back down into this wherever makes sense. Like what you just said makes sense, where he's like, oh, you know, his dad's like, get back to your room. And that's kind of funny. And also other gods are like, yeah, you keep losing, but here we're going to help you out. All that kind of that framing really helps someone want to keep doing it alongside permanence, like you said.
For sure.
So I will get back to you on the game. Oh my goodness. What's it called? Going Under?
Going Under.
Because I'm really excited to see what they will do for that permanence, because I feel like they're going to build something. But I forgot to mention that the first time I went into the dungeon, you know, because he was just like, go clean that place up before we get to your real job. I died at like a boss. Like there was like kind of a boss thing in the bottom. I was like, there's no way I can beat all this, you know? And instead of where I thought they would be like, we'll go back down until you beat it, they're like, oh, no, just come back up and join us for stand-up, you know, because it's a company.
Yeah.
And so I was just late for stand-up, and that's great. Like, that's building it into the world, right?
Interesting. And
I'm
definitely going to check that out. That sounds really funny.
That, like, made me feel good about, like, oh, I'll go back down in, because I think that if I go down, like, the third or fourth or seventh time, they'll probably do something else like that, where, like, here's a cutscene, but we'll maybe comment on what you've been doing.
Yeah.
And
well, that is exactly what Hades does. It does that like literally every single run. There's a new piece of dialogue. There's a new event. People in the world that you're in, they all see you doing these runs, and they all comment on them. Like you get killed by a Medusa, and one guy will be like, "Oh, that Medusa got you, huh? What a bitch."
Yeah.
Or like, you know, you'll get to the 4th floor, and the guy will be like, "Oh, you got further than last time. Good for you, man." And like I mean, it's great. Like it's really well done game, and I would absolutely recommend Hades to anybody who maybe thinks they don't like roguelikes and wants to try one, or maybe wants to get a roguelike that, like you said, has those elements of permanence, story, narrative. Like it checks all the boxes. Like it totally checks all the boxes. I have no criticisms of it. And a lot of people love it. So, I mean, you may even yourself want to check this one out. It seems to check all your boxes as well.
It's interesting. I'm glad that I had you talk about this one next to the other one, because there are similarities here, which is great to see, but also it really does kind of like solidify what for me makes a good roguelike, which is that kind of not just permanence, but like story around it. And yeah, I think I'm really excited to go back into it tonight, into going under, and maybe even trying Hades, because Going Under, it's like you said, the same thing. When I come back up from that dungeon, like there's other people with new dialogue options above their head, and the story they're telling about big corporations is really timely. So, yeah.
All right. Well, this sounds like a pretty good pair of roguelikes. Good. In fact, it's been a pretty good year for roguelikes in general. There are a lot of roguelikes to choose from. Before we move on, I did want to just give a quick update to Necromunda Underhive Wars, which I talked about last time, which was the Warhammer 40k meets XCOM, very vertical. If you want all the details, go to last episode. I talked about it at length. I just wanted to be really quick on this. I've said this before. When we play games for the podcast, we're always trying to get new content, whether it's a new game or an old game, but we try to play a bunch of stuff every week so we have something to talk about. Necromunda started out really strong, and I was very positive on it when I talked about it last week. But I'd only been maybe 2 or 3 levels into it. I kept playing after the show, and I got to say it started to nosedive, so I wanted to circle back and just kind of add further thoughts to my previous thoughts and say, now that I've gotten further and now that I've seen more of the game unfold, I want to rescind my recommendation. I take it back because the bigger the levels got, the longer the turns took, the more complicated the AI got. And I feel like it's too much. Like, I started not having fun because I was losing a lot more often. And I don't say that as like a sour grapes, sore loser kind of guy, but more like I spent 2 hours on one level. There's no way to save in the middle of a level. I made one tiny mistake. That actually wasn't my mistake. I did an ability that somehow didn't work, and I don't know why it didn't work. If it had worked, I would have been fine. It didn't work, and that gave the AI an opportunity to come in, nuked my team, and that was like 2 hours down the drain, which I don't appreciate that, man. Like, I don't like throwing away 2 hours for something that I feel like shouldn't have happened. The AI goes back and forth between brain dead and like super assassin, which I think is kind of a bad place to be because you never know what you're going to get on each turn. And it just got to be feeling kind of too unfriendly. So I'm not going to go about it at length. I did post something at GameCritics.com. If anybody wants to know more about this, please go back to Game Critics and check it out. You can search it in the archives. But, for the podcast, very often we'll come on, we'll get a real good first impression on a game, we'll talk it up, and then if we never circle back, that seems like a recommendation for all eternity. But I don't want people to buy this game on my recommendation and then be like, wow, what the fuck, this game sucks. Oh, I can't believe I took Brad's word on that. Like, we only can talk about what we see. At the time, it was a really good first impression. Once I played more, not so much. And now I want to just give you all a heads up. If you haven't bought Necromunda, maybe don't, because it gets bad later on.
Yeah, I'm glad you did the follow-up. We need to do more of that. I think we always want to, but then there's so many new games as well.
I know. It's tough.
I am going to follow up on Going Under, though, because I'm so excited about it. But yeah.
Please do. Okay, so that's it for that. Carlos, let's go over to you again. Kingdoms of Amalur, which was a game that came out many years ago.
1,800 years ago.
Has quite a checkered past. Crazy story. I don't know if we're going to get into that. But it is an RPG, a lot of grinding, third-person, real-time action. I don't want to say it was very popular when it came out. I think it was pretty hit or miss. But a lot of fans. There's definitely a fan base for this game. I was surprised as hell to hear that anybody was remastering this game. But you have now gone into Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning. Tell us all about it, sir.
Yeah, I remember playing it back in the day, and I couldn't really... it's one of those RPGs where you go, yeah, I probably played it, but I really don't remember the story. Like, I was in there at some point. And I will say this. What do you call it, a remaster?
Is it a remake or is it a remaster? You tell me.
Geez, these terms.
I think I'm hearing remaster is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it's not a remake. That's right. Okay, remake was the Final Fantasy VII.
Yes.
That's a remake. Remaster just put some new can of paint on it. Polish it up.
Exactly.
So they didn't do either of those.
No, what did they do?
But don't worry, this is still a recommendation. I'm going to spoiler and say this is a recommendation. But they didn't do much of anything. They're like what do they call quality of life stuff? There's some of that stuff where like saving and menu stuff and difficulty settings and not looting. You still have to loot everybody instead of looting. Like, you should be able to just loot everything nearby, but you can't. They did some quality of life. They didn't do all of it. And you're like, well, why not? And then the graphics are pretty much the same. They're like almost identical to the original. I don't know.
And it was from the 360, correct?
Xbox that sounds right. Yeah. It's like the same graphics.
Oh,
yeah.
Bummer. Okay.
But here's what's interesting is that, I'm a sucker for RPGs, especially action RPGs. Went back to it, fell right back in love with what I liked about it when I first started, which is it's like Fable. It's a fun Fable game where the action is tight. You have a good dodge roll. I always like a good dodge roll.
You are a man who loves a dodge roll.
Yep. You have, I'm not going to go into all the systems, but you can definitely be, more of a fighter, more of a magician, all that kind of basic stuff. And the skill tree's okay. It's nothing to write home about. Everything is pretty much just okay, but it has that Fable look, so it looks like Fable. It's got a little bit of lightheartedness to it, and it's one of those things where, just like Ease does for me, it's comfort food. It's a comfort food RPG. That's what Fable, I think, feels like every time I play Fable. We'll be getting a new one, at some point here. And it's relaxing. It's a good, relaxing game. It does also, have a million side quests. And I thought it was very interesting that we've never really talked about this on the show, but when role-playing games have too many side quests, you get like overwhelmed. And this is to like that times 100 million. So like you'll just be walking and like some guy's just doing push-ups and he's got a question mark above his head. You're like, oh, that's probably a quest. And then you walk around the corner and there's like 3 exclamation points on people's heads. And then you go to a new area and you're just like walking through the woods and you find 2 people with exclamation points above their head. And like I'm hard not to say yes to that stuff. Sure. I don't know about you, but I'm like, if I see something, I'm like, okay, well, I should probably check that off because I get a bunch of experience.
You cannot walk by and not talk to that person. What human being walks by those things and doesn't talk to that person?
Yeah, I know. But then after the 7th or 8th time, you're like, fuck my life. I have 18 things to do. So I remember in this thing, I had like already 6 quests going. And, you kind of like compartmentalize. You're like, I'll get to them. And I get to this one little town, and all I want to do is sell my like millions of hammers and, buy some health potions and get on with it. And so I only see one guy in the town, and he's got a house, and he's like working on something, like with like, hammers, and he's got a little table. And I'm like, well, maybe he's a vendor, right? Oh, no, Brad Galloway. He was not a vendor. He was someone with a new quest.
Of course he was.
And guess what? He wanted me to go save his mermaid bride-to-be. And I was like, listen, you got me on so many levels here. Mermaid, bride. Also, I just want to sell my hammers. So yes, there's a million quests in this game, but at the same time, it is comfort food. I'm loving it. I have my own house. Like you can, one of those games where you can get your own house.
Sure.
And I love it. I love this game, but it's just the 360 game. Like they didn't do anything much to it at all.
Interesting. The good thing about being in the review game for as long as I have, I mean, I'm coming up on 20 years now of doing reviews, and I reviewed this game when it was brand new back in the day. So I did not play the Re-Reckoning that you have played, but I did review this when it originally came out. I went back for shits and giggles to see what I said about it back then because, I had a vague recollection of what I thought about it, but I was pretty hazy on the details. I mean, if you review 8,000 games, you kind of forget the specifics of those after a while.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get into it now, but I will say that my review is up on GameCritics.com, and I really, really, really disliked this game severely. Really did not care for it. So I'll leave it at that. I know you like it. I totally get why you like it. I did not like it back 11, 12, whatever years ago. And if anybody wants to read that, go to Game Critics. You'll find it in the archive.
Did you ever like the Fable games though too, or no?
Not a big fan, no.
Okay, well then that makes sense. Again, I'm coming at from like if you like those kind of games and also just want like just a relaxing RPG to just do a million side quests in. There's a satisfaction that you feel from an RPG that is like unlike no other, and especially when the world is full of shit.
Sure.
I have going to a lot of RPGs lately and feeling good about myself because I fucking found that guy's mermaid bride, and now I can sleep at night.
It makes sense. We all have different flavors that we like, I'm playing all the roguelikes, and that's something to me that gives me that feeling. You like the action, the dodge roll, the melee. So, I get the feeling even if we don't find it in the same places, but I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right. That is Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning. You're playing that on what, PS4?
Yep.
All right, cool. So a couple things from me, and then we're out. Just a quick mention of 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim coming from Vanillaware. I'm going to file this one under game that I was mega super excited for and actually really disliked it a ton when it finally came out. Not going to talk a lot about it. because I did not play it for very long. I bounced off it really quickly. It is a visual novel with a really deep... We didn't talk about this already, did we? Did we talk about this already?
I had mentioned to you in DMs, I was like, hey, do I want this game? And you're like,
you do
no,
not
you don't.
know. No, stay away from this game. This is the anti-Carlos game.
Yeah.
So basically what happens is it is a 2D visual novel that stars a bunch of Japanese high school kids. So number one, strike for me, because I have zero interest in Japanese high school kids. I'm done with that. I don't want to do that story anymore. Whenever people tell me, oh, I'm so embarrassed, I can't tell this girl how I feel about her because I'm 16. I'm just out, dude. I'm so out. Like, I just don't care. So most of the game is visual novel, and I was hoping that the story, which is supposed to be some kind of a time travel sci-fi story, would get me into it. The story is told non-linear, and there's literally 13 different main characters, which I feel like is way too many. So you're jumping back and forth between characters. Some of it's in the future, some of it's in the past. You're not really sure. When is this happening? Why is this happening? Did I already know this thing? I didn't know this thing. Oh, there's this guy over here. Did I talk to him yet? Oh, that's later. Oh, not yet. And so it's just really... I'm not a fan of non-linear storytelling, so that's like strike two. And there's also like a bunch of charts. There's a bunch of text. There's a bunch of logs. There's like a spreadsheet in there to help people keep track of it. Fuck all that. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, that is not my jam. Some people really like it. Not for me. The third strike, and the thing that ultimately killed this game for me, was this game was sold as kids piloting giant robots. It's got Aegis Rim, which is just like Pacific Rim. Sentinels in the title. Like, it's got a very, like, all the promotional ads showed giant robots, and I am Mr. Giant Robot. I am first off Mr. Roguelike, second off Mr. Giant Robot. This game has barely any giant robots in it, and I feel very betrayed, because when you get to the actual gameplay portion, which is not the visual portion, you go to a screen, which is like a top-down view of a city. It is hyper abstract. You know what it looks like? It looks like a bunch of colorful neon pixels exploding on a black background screen. And what I expected, this is Vanillaware. They are renowned for their hyper detailed 2D hand-drawn art. They did Dragon's Crown, they did Odin Sphere, they did Grim Grimoire. I mean, they made their success on the strength of their visual art style. Yeah. That is literally nowhere to be found in the combat portions of this game. It looks like somebody took like fucking Geometry Wars or any of those like little pixely, explodey, voxel, neon fucking indie games and stuck that in, and there's no giant robots punching anybody. There's no giant feet crushing things. There's no giant Gatling gun firing. Like, none of that. It's just like this weird pixel shit going on. It's boring. It is abstract. I was so fucking like, where's the robots? Where the fuck are the robots? You guys are the best artists in the goddamn business, and you didn't draw any fucking robots? And this game's about giant robots? Blew my fucking mind, dude. So I was like, I'm out. I'm fucking out. So forget it. I would recommend this game to people who like 999. Did you ever play 999, that visual novel?
Yeah.
I hate that game. Hate 999. But it has the same time travel, super convoluted, Japanese teenager kind of sci-fi story. Not my jam, but a lot of people love it. If you like 999, you will very much like 13 Sentinels. That's not what I signed up for. I signed up for giant robots and some story. This is like tons of story and no robots. So feel betrayed. I'm out. I'm not into this. A lot of people are going to like this. I am not that person.
I was going to say the episode's not for you, and I was going to say the episode title could be "Where Are My Fucking Robots?"
Where are my motherfucking robots? Okay, but that's not the game I really want to talk about. Final game of the show here. Talking about Mortal Shell.
Oh yeah, I see a lot of tweets for you from that game.
Yes, I kind of went tweet crazy. If you can follow me on Twitter, I was going bananas over this game over the last couple of days on Twitter, posting screenshots, little videos, a lot of moments from this game. This is a Souls-like third-person real-time action coming from a brand new studio called Cold Symmetry. They're kind of tight-lipped about themselves right now. They say that they're all industry veterans, and their names are in the credit, although I didn't recognize any of them, but that's probably just, me. So they're kind of quiet, but they put this game out, and obviously they are swinging for the Dark Souls fences. This game is heavily inspired by Dark Souls in so many ways, from the look, the tone, the feel, the graphics, the mood. Like, I mean, if you just like scanned a couple screenshots, like you could easily be convinced that this is an actual Dark Souls game. So they are following it very, very closely, but they do branch out in a couple different ways. First off, the main mechanic of this game is called hardening, which is kind of weird. Many jokes to be made there. What happens is you can turn yourself into stone for just like a few seconds. And what that does is it makes you 100% invulnerable to anything for like a few seconds. So like if you see some big boss coming in with his giant sword, he's going to roast you with some fire. You harden by pushing like the L2 button. You turn into stone for like a second. You just fucking tank right through it. It doesn't matter what it is. And that is actually a pretty cool thing because you can start to attack. You seem like you're going to get hit. You harden real quick. You block all damage. And then once that attack is over, you soften back up and you just keep going forward with your attack. I know. The jokes like right themselves.
Back up. Their jokes right there. We have to talk about it. But also real quick, isn't that just blocking?
It is not blocking because you are, I mean, it is a form of blocking, but it is like mega infinite blocking where you're just like, you are untouchable for like a few seconds. And that really makes a difference because you don't lose stamina in all these Souls games. Usually when you block, it drains your stamina. You can only block for a certain period of time. Sometimes you get knocked down because the attack overwhelms your stamina. And then when you finish blocking, you can't attack because you're drained of stamina. All the Souls games really use a stamina-based system, and this one does too, but this hardening really kind of steps outside of the stamina system and gives you like this like God button where just for like a couple moments, fuck you, you can't touch me, and whatever you got, I shrug it off. Which is pretty cool.
I just want to bring it up real quick because right now in Kingdoms of Amalur, is the first time in an RPG in a while that I've actually used blocking. And I bring it up because in that game, it's not like trying to be like a Souls, like there's no cost for blocking, right? It's just timing. Like if you do it in time, and if you do it in time and you have a good enough shield, most of the time you won't take any damage. And so normally where I'm always just rolling out of way, like in this game, I've actually started blocking because some of the shields are really, really fun to use and they look different. But anyways, to me, that sounds like something would help me want to play a Souls game is if I have the mechanic you're talking about, which is something that doesn't cost a fucking, resource.
Exactly. It's on a cooldown, so you can't just spam it. But it comes back pretty quick, and it is it is literally invulnerable whenever you do it. So it is a pretty cool card to have up your sleeve. The other mechanic is that, well, it's kind of weird to say, but like one thing about Mortal Shell, I'm trying to collect my thoughts here. These guys, they like it difficult. Like if you thought Dark Souls was like for babies and was way too easy, Mortal Shell is like the game for you. Like they kick it up, they're like, yo, this is the serious game. In this game, like you barely have any healing items at all, almost none. And the way that you heal is by parrying. So like you got to be kind of a badass. I know.
This is such a hard pass. It's ridiculous.
No. I don't recommend this for you at all. I almost didn't play it myself because I'm terrible at parrying. It is like my least favorite mechanic in any game.
Gross.
And these guys do not cut you any slack, right? So like a couple of like the peon goblins and stuff that you fight, or like the scrub enemies, you can parry them pretty easily. They have really, really slow attacks, big window, but like a lot of the enemies will hit you pretty hard and you got to be like spot on. And so it really is a tough proposition to be like, I'm really low on life and I need to heal, and the only way I can heal is if I parry this guy. Do I want to gamble to say that I can parry this guy? Because if I do, I'll heal. And if I don't, I'm going to get killed because I'm going to eat this sword right in my face.
Bro.
It is a very tough proposition. I tried to avoid parrying as much as possible. It was tough for me. I did not like it.
I have anxiety right now. I don't normally get it in the podcast, but I have it just from what you're talking about.
So many times when I was down to like a single hit and I needed to land this parry. I got to land this parry. And I just fucking didn't. And it's rough. It is rough. There's a couple other really neat twists to this. Now, they know you're not going to land every parry. So the other story-based hook to this game is that you are some kind of a spirit or like an undead person or like a ghoul or something. And you are weak. You die in literally one hit from anybody in this game. So what you do...
What? This is getting worse and worse.
No, it is. But what happens is how you survive is you find a dead body of a warrior like scattered throughout the world, and you inhabit that body. And so you take on the properties of that dead body. So if you inhabit the body of a thief, then you will have like some thiefy powers. You'll like turn into smoke when you dodge, and you'll have a lot of stamina. Or if you inhabit the body of a tanky warrior, you'll have tons of life, less stamina, different abilities. It sounds way more cool in the way that I'm describing it than it actually is in practice, because that was really all I knew about this game before release, and I was very excited. In my mind, I was thinking of all the different ways that could be applied into games where, oh, maybe I'll go into a new level and I'll be forced to try a new body, and that'll make me change up my mechanics and change up my strategies. That's interesting. Or maybe a certain body will be better against a certain enemy and I'll have to change back and forth. No. Fuck all that. Those guys totally don't do any of those ideas, which I think are pretty good ideas. Basically, it's just like a build system where there's only 4 bodies in the whole game, which I didn't realize. And one of them is real tanky, one of them is real light, one of them has high stamina, and one of them like tells jokes or something. I don't remember what the 4th guy does. Something. So like once you get those guys, you basically just find your favorite, because it doesn't make a lot of sense to switch back and forth. And I feel like that was a real missed opportunity for these guys. I felt like there was a lot of potential with the idea of changing bodies in a Souls-like. It seems like infinite opportunity there, and they didn't really do a whole lot with it. So that was pretty disappointing. But I got into it, started playing it, and I got to say, the thing that I like the most about it is when you play this game, you feel heavy and slow. The swords are gigantic. I mean, those swords in real life would probably weigh 50 pounds easy. And you're like, it takes forever to swing a sword because it's fucking heavy and it feels heavy.
Also sounds terrible.
I mean, a lot of people hate it, right? A lot of people really bounced off this game, but that was what really I liked, because I like that feeling of like, I got to be really deliberate with my attacks. I got to be very careful, because once I swing the sword, I'm committed to the swing and I can't back out of it. Everything just feels really thick and chunky and slow and brutal. And I like it. Like when you hit a guy, fucker goes sailing across the level because you hit him so goddamn hard with your sword.
Right.
Like you feel that hit, right?
Yeah.
Or like you kick a guy's shield and you're so heavy and strong that when you kick, the dude like rocks back and the shield shatters and he's just like stunned for a second. Like the quality of the combat, pretty fucking cool. It's not for people who like to dodge all the time, but if you want to like really tank your way through and fight and just get into this really gross, heavy, brutal combat, I think the combat is done really well. So it's got some pluses. It's got a lot of minuses. I actually finished it this morning, so I did go all the way through it.
I saw the tweet you finished this fucking thing that seems impossible.
Oh, it was, I mean, it's a lot harder at the beginning than it is at the end, but if you persevere, you will eventually get to a point where you get comfortable with a weapon that you like, you'll get comfortable with the body that you like, and then you just kind of power your way through. I mean, I think that for a first game from a new studio, these guys did a great job. Like they really focused in on the things they did well. I don't agree with all their choices. I think they made a lot of bad choices. But overall, for what they were shooting for, I think they were very successful. I think they turned out a game that was very reasonable for the scope of what they had, considering their studio of 4 people. I mean, and the levels look great. Like some of those levels look fucking amazing just visually. Like there's this one level where you're like in the sky and it's like all abstract and there's like these weird stones and you're a million miles above the earth and clouds and shit. Like it was stunning, like really stunning. So these guys, they need a little bit of like a producer to kind of help them file off the rough edges. Maybe don't be so get good next time, but like overall, I ended up liking it, although it's a very hard recommend. I don't recommend it to just anybody, and I don't recommend it to every Souls fan, because I think there's a lot of stuff here that people would bounce off of. It's very player unfriendly. It's a very brutal game. You're going to die a lot. It just doesn't really give a fuck about you, but there is some good there. So overall, yeah. I'm glad I played it. I'm glad I finished it. I think it was worth my time, but it was absolutely an uphill climb.
It goes back to what we were saying kind of earlier about like it just might not be for you, but it's well made, right?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, it was for you. It's not for me, obviously. But yeah, like I feel like it's such a small team. What they pulled off from just like what I'm looking at with graphics and some of the video and stuff is amazing. So kudos to them for building a, like you said, a weighty melee system and all this kind of really good combat. And it looks cool. I will never play it.
No, stay away, dude. Stay away.
To each his own, you know what I mean? So good on them for finishing the game. Because again, I have a small team. We have a small team working on Scavengers, and you know, I'm just always blown away with what they pull off. So yeah, it's a lot of work to make something look awesome. And when you have a small amount of people, it's even more work.
Yeah, for sure. They did a great job. If anybody's curious about this, I posted a ton of screenshots and a couple of videos of some pretty cool moments on my Twitter feed. If you want to go back to my Twitter and scroll backwards, or just like do a search for hashtag Mortal Shell. You will pull up all of the stuff I posted. It's worth a look. It looks great, and congratulations to this team. I definitely look forward to their next project. I hope that they get a bigger team, maybe broaden it up a little bit, maybe let some players in who are not the get good players, and I think they're going to be doing some good work in the future.
Yeah.
So,
hey, before the show's over, you thought it was over, and I don't think we can pull off a 30-minute episode, Brett Galloway. I have 2 surprise games.
Okay. All right.
And even if I didn't have 2 surprise games, I think we're already like 45 minutes. So we
faffed around a little bit before we started recording, so that was the thing that happened.
Yeah. Okay, so real quick reminder, to that point of going back to things that we mentioned on the show, triple topping. Remember triple topping, the creators of Welcome to Elk?
Welcome to Elk. We talked about them very recently, last episode, I think.
Yeah, so we were like looking at them on the podcast, and we realized they made a little game called Spitkiss.
Yes, we bought it in real time.
Yeah,
I did download it.
And did you play it?
Did not, but I bought it and downloaded it.
I did. So the art is amazing, and it looks like Ren and Stimpy. Like It's really beautiful, weird, cartoony art. And I have a positive and a negative to say. I'll just say really quickly, it looks beautiful. And there's these little cartoon segments that happen, and it's about 2 characters who love each other. They decide they love each other, and these little kind of comic book frames show up and like talk about their romance. And what the game is just one of them is on one side of the screen, the other's on the other side of the screen, and in the middle is just like usually some sort of obstacles. And what you need to do is you need to spit towards them, and if it lands and hits that other person, they realize that you love them, which is like real life.
I think I saw that on Pornhub.
Yeah, I mean it's a thing. So, anyways, so when you spit, it's that classic thing of where like you pull back for trajectory, right? Like see where it's gonna go and try to like aim at the person, right? But in this world, you can actually there's like spikes on the walls, and if the spit hits spikes, like in real life, it dissolves and goes away, and your spit doesn't, meet your person you're trying to hit in the face with it. So you have to do like really weird things of like having it hit a block, and then like it's gonna slowly drip around the other side of the block, and then throw it again.
Oh god.
Or there's like a little dot in the middle of the air, and so like you'll throw the spit to the dot. The minute it hits the dot, it resets your ability to throw the spit again. So you're kind of like spitting from thing to thing to thing to land on your person. Now here's the thing.
We gotta move on because I'm gagging, dude. Like my
just because of the word spit.
Just the thoughts going through my head right now are making me a little bit queasy. We're gonna have to move on.
We're not gonna move on. Hold on. I want to say one thing about. Let's call it something else. Let's call it magic dust. Does that make you feel better?
Sure, that's fine.
You gotta throw your little magic dust, okay? And then in the beginning, it's really fun because the characters are cool, and if you do it like enough times, you get another kind of cool comic book scene. And I just like their art is really really cool, but it so quickly becomes like get good.
Oh, really? Is it really hard?
Yeah, really hard. Like so quick. Like I'm like, 12 wards in or something? And I'm like, how the fuck am I going to do this? Like the last one I had to do, I had to throw the magic dust at a block, and the magic dust had to like drip and then fall, and then the magic dust had to go to another dot, and then to another dot, and then to the person. And I was like, this is going to take me a long time. And what's the reasoning for it to be this hard?
I was just going to say, it seems like such a cute, fun indie game. It's weird to hear that it gets so difficult.
You know what? I know there's a lot of mobile games that do it because they're monetization, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't think this is one because didn't we buy it?
Yeah, you just buy it and that's it. There's no DLC or anything.
So then that makes no sense to me at all. Like I don't really know why they did this. So it's almost a hard pass for me, where I really do like the art and the style, but man, I don't really want to play like past board 13 or something.
Oh man, well that's disappointing. Well, maybe I will try to. Like we said, we downloaded it in real time on the show. I got it. I meant to play it, and I just kept putting it off. So now that I'm hearing you say it, I'll definitely check it out, and maybe we'll see how it goes. But that's strange.
You can't handle the word spit though, so I don't know how.
You were getting into some pretty crazy scenarios there. That was kind of just I was flashbacks, dude. Flashbacks.
Okay. The other thing, real quick, is the Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered demo is up right now.
Okay.
It launched with the Tokyo Game Show because I was actually trying to get it, and it wasn't available until Tokyo Game Show started.
Isn't this game already out? We reviewed it at Game Critics a while ago.
Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered is already out?
Yeah, it's been out for like a while. In fact, I think Jared Johnston reviewed it for us like weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, weeks ago means it's like sort of new then, right?
I mean, it's not old, but I mean, it's not brand new.
Okay, well then I never even knew. Well, anyways, it's a hard pass from me.
That's what Jared said too.
Well, here's the thing. We both have said this on the show. We don't like the super deformed little characters in RPGs.
No, we don't.
And especially ones like this one had like a lady with some cleavage, and I was like, don't do that. Don't make your super deformed little characters have cleavage. No,
her boobs as big as her head.
Just the point is, I don't want to look at boobs when the characters are that small. Like, it's just weird.
It's weird. Yeah,
they're like
creepy.
Small people, or I don't know what it is. Anyways, in the very beginning, all the menus I hated. I was like, they remastered these menus, but they made them worse. And then they were like, pick a bunch of factions you're going to go on this quest with. And I was like, what? It was like it just like threw me off so bad in the beginning. And the art I didn't like. And I was like, no, I'm glad this is a demo. I'm not going into this world. So I just thought I'd bring it up that it's a hard pass for me.
That kind of says the same kind of stuff that Jared was saying. He liked it back in the day, but he said they should have remastered, and what they did was re-release, and he was very unhappy with it. And he said the big hook of that game is multiplayer, and something about the multiplayer is borked. I don't remember what it was, but he said it was just no good. It was a hard pass for him as well. So
it's like that. What's that one? Breath of Fire that I love? Not Breath of Fire. Oh my goodness, the one with the rolling combat that I always forget the name of, and I love.
Mana.
Yeah, Legend of Mana, but Secret of Mana. So Secret of Mana, remember they remade that one?
Yes.
Or remastered it, and that was shite. It reminds me of that. So, anyways, hard pass. Don't go near it. If you like the original, then just keep that memory of the original.
Cherish that memory and don't come back to it.
Yep.
Okay. Excellent advice from a man who's been there and lived it. And folks, that is going to do it for this show. But before we go, we love to get your questions and comments. Hit us up, sovideogamespodcast@gmail.com. We're on Twitter as a show @sovideogames, but you can reach us individually. Carlos, where can people find you this week?
Hey, you know what? If you want to learn a little bit about me,
and who doesn't really?
And who doesn't? I mean, come on. By this point, you can go to, and I'm revamping it right now, so by the time this goes up, you'll probably see it. CarlosRadella.com.
I was going to say that. Oh, man, I should have said it. I would have
Really?
been right on. Yeah, I was.
Well, one L, not two, just like Brad Galloway, no O's. Carlos Rodella, RODELA.com. You could literally see my whole life in that. Like, I put all these pictures up, all the videos I've done. Brad's on there.
Am I on there? I got to look it up.
Plenty of times. You should look it up.
Oh, man, I look it up.
Me and you and those green blocks, remember? The public access
I do.
show?
Yes, I remember that.
And I think you're on there a couple times. So, learn a little bit about me if you want. Maybe Brad will make a website someday. I doubt it.
Probably not.
Hard pass on a website from Brad Galloway. But CarlosRadella.com, just, check it out. And also there's a little feature where you can leave me a message, which
Excellent.
I don't know if I've ever checked. But I will now because
check it now. It now. Okay, good. As for me, nothing as fancy as that. Just the same old Twitter and Instagram. BRADGALLAWAY. All A's, no O's. And again, like I said, check my feed for tons of Mortal Shell videos and pictures. And if you go to Instagram, I did not share this on Twitter, but longtime listeners of the show will know that I love chickens because I have chickens in my backyard, and my chickens just started laying eggs yesterday.
Yes.
So I posted a picture of my very first egg ever. So check it out on Instagram if you want to see that. And this is going to do it for episode
Wait, bro. We got to talk about eggs for a minute.
Okay.
Dude, hard-boiled eggs are amazing.
They are really good. I love hard-boiled eggs.
I'm like, all I need is a hard-boiled egg, a little bit of salt, and some toast. That's breakfast for me.
It is a pretty good breakfast. I would often have hard-boiled eggs and toast or crackers, a cup of coffee or something when it's on the go. You can just cook it up ahead of time, bring it with you. It's pretty portable.
You make them in advance. I'm just wondering, do you have, with the amount of eggs you're going to get, how many eggs you're talking here?
So they're just starting. They don't all just come in at once, right? They all have their different
I don't know how
periods.
chickens work.
They mature, and basically it's kind of okay. We're not going to get like super into it, but it's
No.
kind of like a very similar like ovary situation to like human women, but instead of like monthly, they do it like daily. And so that is like, even if the chicken is not fertilized, like if there's no rooster in my yard, it still happens anyway. So they are giving us eggs that will never hatch into
Dude,
baby chickens, but you just eat them anyway. That's the kind that you get at the store, right?
that's magic, dude.
Also very interesting. Chickens are born with every egg they're ever going to lay inside their body already, and they are tiny.
What?
They're lined up like bullets. I saw it when we slaughtered chickens. And
Oh, wow, you made that go badly. First, you're like telling me this really cool thing, and I'm like, wow, Brad Galloway, tell me more about chickens. You're like, yeah, I slaughtered them and found out.
it's true. I took a chicken slaughtering class a while ago, and I
Whoa.
was stunned. I was like, oh my God, there's all these eggs in here.
Oh
Like,
my
what the
God.
hell? And they're like, yep, they are born with all their eggs, and they start out teeny tiny, and they grow one by one, and it's like a bomber during World War II, where you see like those bomb racks, and they just like fly over somewhere, and they drop all those
Yeah.
bombs one by one. That is literally what is going on inside a chicken's body every day.
Weird.
So we have 8 chickens. Some of them are already laying, some of them are not. But when they all start to get going, you can generally expect about roughly 1 egg a day. So we're thinking we're probably going to have maybe like 50 eggs a week, probably.
That's
Which
great.
is like a lot, probably more than we can eat. But we have neighbors on 3 sides of us that we're going to share the eggs with. And we're going to have plenty of eggs ourselves. We're going to have hard-boiled. We're going to have scrambled. We're going to have fried. We're going to make a souffle. Do all sorts of stuff. It's going to be eggs, 24/7. Very excited about it.
Dude, eggs-tastic. That is really cool. And you learn something new. Who knows? I had no idea.
Chickens are magical. They're kind of magical. I'm big on
magical.
chickens right now. So, all right. Anyway, that's enough of chickens on episode 198, and this is the actual end. Thank you again for joining us here on the So Video Games podcast, and we'll be back before you know it, and maybe the chickens will too. Who knows? Who knows? In the meantime, this is bye from Brad.
And bye from Carlos. Chickens are magical. Who knew?